If you want to become a supporter of Boss Rush, you can head on over to patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. For as little as $1 a month, you gain early access to Expansion Pass and Gamescast, audio versions of spoiler casts and interviews, and more perks at the tier that's right for you. You can even follow us for free and gain all of our main shows on one feed. If you can't support us financially, no big deal. You can head on over to youtube.com/Boss Rush Network or bossrush.net for more great content. Thanks for helping us continue to build something better. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me is not the PC Muscle Race. It is, in fact, that retro code, Eddie V. Edward Varnell is here.
Hello, everybody. The founders are in the building. It's been a while, Corey, that we've been together to do this here on Boss Rush, and I'm super excited. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having you. It's like you thank us every time you're on the show, and you know you can just show up on Wednesday nights when we usually record this if you're off work.
Yeah,
but you don't ever show up. So,
well, I
it's like this. It's like the CEO of a company thanking the company for giving him an office. You know what I mean? Like, thanks, guys. We really needed this computer to run our business.
Hey, it is what it is.
It's fine.
I feel honored when I get to be on the other shows, and so I get to, when I feel honorable like that, I just want to thank people, for allowing me to happen. Because there could be a time where I'm not needed on the show or wanted on the show. I'm just saying.
I mean, you're never wanted, but here we are. I'm just kidding.
Wait, where?
What?
Where? But I always, am grateful to be on any podcast that I can when needed, or when I'm able to be there and stuff.
Well, you're here because, LeRon. So we're not recording live, obviously, on YouTube or Twitch or anything. We are here because LeRon had a work thing last night, and I had kids staying up way too late, so we just decided to not do a show. But I didn't want to miss a week because we missed a lot of episodes this year already. I mean, this is only like our 8th episode this year, and it's May. So we didn't want to miss again. So Ed and I are going to talk about some things. We're going to talk about some eventful weekend I had, honestly. But we're also going to talk about some things that are happening, some changes at Boss Rush in particular, which we're both very excited about, that I have already, if you've been paying attention, you've probably already noticed. But we'll get to that. But Ed,
Yes.
how's life? How are you? How's everything since I talked to you, yesterday?
Everything's good. I got a Boss Rush banner coming out. I'm excited for you guys to read it. Things are, happening in life with work and stuff. And it's mostly dealing with another place that's going to need me for a bit while working at my main store. With that, great games are coming out. Forza Horizon 6, and Meet of the Hollower, Tales of Arise, Yoshi, and the Mysterious Book. Just like a lot of stuff is happening. And then I forgive me, everybody. I talk to myself sometimes in my mind and to myself. No, because I'm super excited for the Summer Direct that is about to happening next month. Summer Game Fest, Xbox Showcase, wholesome games, and any kind of other thing that comes out. Hopefully, Nintendo will have something ready to show us a 45 presentation whenever they want to drop it. Maybe a state of play from Sony. Like, I'm super excited because I want to see the games that get announced, but I also want to gab and hang out with my boss rush crew and talk about stuff that's coming. And I want to help contribute articles, discussions, and everything about Summer Game Fest, or the Summer Direct, because it may be June, July, and August. Like, we might have 3 months of announced games for this year and next year. And it just makes me excited because definitely Xbox is going to be the main focus this year, because we want to see what um they do and what they're going to bring. Of course, with Nintendo, we kind of want to know what the fall is, but we also want to see, with this Switch 2, price increase, is there more that they're gonna offer, um, with it? We they had an announcement that they're bringing 3 more games, or 2 more games, I said, to the Switch 2 bundle, and it's almost kind of like a year in a sense since Switch 2 has been out. So instead of being able just to get Mario Kart World, now you could choose between Mario Kart World, um, uh Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Pokemon Pokopia. Um, and then they're gonna offer the Pokopia one also as its own bundle later that same month. And so I think Nintendo's gonna probably, have a rise in sales before, the base model without no game goes up in September. And it's just going to be like, I want to see how people react with it. Is it going to be good, or is it going to be, if no one's touching it, does that bring concern and everything? And so I'm just super excited to see how this summer is going to play out when it comes to games. But most importantly, everybody, I'm looking forward to celebrating our 500th episode of Nintendo Pop Block. I'm gonna leave it right there. So
Yeah, it's happening soon at some point.
yes,
So yeah, I mean, we're at 493, 494, somewhere in there. So there's a lot, but
yes.
I mean, you are excited for things. I had a really busy weekend, which was 2 weekends ago now after you hear this, but man, dude,
I
like
I was at work. Corey knows I was like super concerned. But Corey, go ahead.
I yeah, so I spent Saturday in the emergency room because I fell and hit a lot of parts of my body. I wasn't going to go, but then I decided that I should make better life choices in general, and that would be a better one to make, would be to go to the emergency room after, you hit your head on the hardwood floor. So I did, and nothing, was wrong really. I mean, I'm sore still from it, but other than that, everything's fine. Nothing's broken or anything. So, but they told me to take it easy and, rest and all these other things. Right. And then I put my son to bed and I came downstairs, and then there was a flood in my basement on Saturday. So I spent Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. Scooping water into the shower in our basement because there's a drain there. And it turns out that another thing that happened this week, we got a new roof put on our house, and they unplugged our sub pump, which, for those who don't know, is a pump that pumps water away from your house when it rains out to the street. And a lot of older homes don't have them, but they are now like required when you build a home to have a sub pump. And so our laundry room flooded and into like this little room back here, Ed, that you can see the door over here.
Yes.
That room flooded and it started to creep around into here. Um, and so yeah, we had people in and out Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, uh, doing things. So I worked from home. Today was the first day I went to work in like 5 days. I mean, I worked from home, but you know what I mean. Like I usually go to the office because it's easier for me to concentrate and um, get stuff done and that sort of thing. But
Mhm.
uh, it was a busy week, man. It was rough. My wrist still hurts. Um, I was planning on getting all this stuff done for Boss Rush this past weekend because I wanted to make the announcement of all this stuff last week.
Yeah.
And like, if you watched Pow Block and Boss Rush podcast last week, the redesign has already happened. Uh, but yeah, it was a pretty eventful weekend, Ed. I'm not, fully recovered, but um, anyways, it
It's
was
high.
it was also an
It's high.
expensive weekend. Oh, um, yeah, I don't know, but after Saturday and this week, I felt so unclean because the basement was flooded and like
Yeah.
not that like my office is cleaner than our house, like our house is clean. It's just like how sometimes when you sit in a place for like so long, you just feel like you need to like scrub yourself or like take a shower, just like
Yeah.
whatever.
You clean and
Yeah,
then feel like you
dude.
need to
Last night,
re-clean.
last night at like 10:30, after Miles finally went to bed, I came down here and in the bathroom in there, I shaved, I cut my hair. I just took like a half hour shower. I just stood in there with the hot water and like scrubbing myself because I felt so gross. Oh, it's fine. Everything's fine.
It's
It's all good.
it's funny because I'm just like I just even though did take a shower today, I'm just like, oh, I need to wash my hair again because it's getting to the itchy point, and I'm just like, oh man. But I do understand when you feel like you're clean, but you still like put the body wash soap again on the thing. Get the scrub it again, washing the hair, washing the face, like you do like a double wash
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah. So that was my weekend. Um,
Mhm.
I wanted to play games, but I didn't really. Well, we played a little bit of games upstairs. I took my Switch upstairs and the extra dock upstairs just to, you know, uh,
Mhm.
I don't want anything to happen to my Switch too, man. Especially now that the price is going up.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not going to talk about that here. We already talked about that on Power Block. This is a Nintendo show, although Ed is here. But
Yes.
yeah, man, I just
Wouldn't it be funny that we talk a lot of Nintendo on the Buttress podcast, even
we
though we
usually
talk
do
so
when
much
you're on.
yes, but we talk so much Xbox somehow. Sometimes it's just like, what we just did the reverse.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, it happens. Who cares? Who cares? People know. People know why they're here. Um
I think like I said, we try to root over Microsoft because we want to see them win too. We want to see all of them win.
some people don't, but we did a big refresh of like logos and everything. Not the logos aren't changing,
Hmm.
right? I mean, I just cleaned them up a little bit and I'm making like 8K versions of them just to kind of have refreshed kind of high res versions of them as we start reaching out to people again and stuff like and also for people to use them right for things because they're not like readily available. The new ones, and
Yes,
even some of the old ones aren't readily available for people to use if they want to. So like
yes.
I've kind of been going through all that, but the big thing, Ed, is we actually finally have a after 6.5 years, we finally have a logo instead of just
Yay!
words stacked on top of each other. Um, so I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know what you think about it,
Yes.
but I'm pretty excited about it. Lasby likes it. Stephanie and Laron like it. So that's
I
one
love
thing. I don't know what you think. What do you think about it?
I love it. I love the new logo. You know, I kind of want the symbol version for my business cards. I told you that. But dude, seeing it now, definitely in if you guys I don't know if you're gonna talk about the intros.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah, I'll
know if
get
I
there.
should say something. Okay.
I mean, you
Um
can. I don't care. That's what the topic is right now.
I
So
mean people who've seen this has seen the new intro, has seen the pop like new intros, the new intros of them. It's just so amazing, so cool. Um it's very professional looking. Like it takes Boss Rush to a whole new level. So once again, thank you, Corey, because you want the best for Boss Rush, and I'm super excited and just like seeing it, and it's like that's so cool how it's the transitions that get me because everything is so smooth and everything, and then see the new logo in the bottom left corner, and it's there just makes it feel um no, it just feels like this is us. This is Boss Rush. We own this in a sense. That's how it feels when watching it, and everything.
yeah, I mean
So I
the
oh
the
go ahead.
whole thing with the logos and stuff like that. I've always just wanted a logo, and I've just felt like our stuff. Not that it's super amateur, but it is kind of amateur, right? I mean, I've kind of
Mhm.
make these by hand, and I'm not like up to date on the latest in graphic design things, right? Like I'm just trying to do my best in terms of like this is what I think we should do um, with it, and so like I finally just sat down and looked at like what people at Boss Rush are into, the generation that we are all kind of from relatively, like the Super Nintendo and 64 kind of era is kind of like the prime era for most of the people that work with us, right? Like mid 90s, early 2000s. So I'm like, we need something there, PS1, PS2. And I'm like, I know everybody uses face buttons as their logos, right? In some way, shape, or form. But I'm like, what would be cool is if we took the C buttons from the N64 controller and kind of like formed a
Mhm.
logo that kind of represents or kind of like takes that shape a little bit. And so like we
Yeah.
have the ring around the circles, right? And like the circles are kind of like represent the four pillars of what Boss Rush kind of represents, right? Like uh podcasts and video, uh community and networking, um creative freedom, and one of the pillars that we're working on, just to kind of be up front a little bit, is like we've been really throwing around this marketing idea for smaller studios and studios that don't have big marketing budgets, and like we kind of want to see what we can do in that vein. um
Yes.
and so that's kind of what the logo kind of represents. And then it also obviously looks like the face buttons, and we've always done that thing where like all of our stuff is kind of like a play on words or a play on something, right? And like has a dual meaning essentially. um and this is just another one of those, right? Of like, this is the face buttons, the C buttons, whatever, but also like there's circles. We have four kind of prominent things that we try to accomplish here. um
Mhm.
for kind of gaming platforms, right? Or
Yeah.
for entertainment platforms, if you want to go gaming, movies and TV, comics and, you know, books and comics, and then toys and collectibles, right? There's that aspect of it. There's like a lot of things it could represent. And then you could go to even each channel, which is another thing we've been doing, right? Is like separating out the content into their own kind of spaces to better represent who is on those shows and this content that they want to make, right? Like
Yeah.
the since LeBron and I have kind of been doing the Boss Rush podcast by ourselves for a while, and we kind of want to take it in a generalized news of the gaming space, but also like technology in a way.
Mhm.
Like gaming technology and like what's being used and implemented, and obviously following uh Asha Sharma has been a big topic of conversation over the last couple of weeks for us, specifically because of the moves that Xbox is making. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm really happy with what we've been doing. Obviously, we moved Powblock to its own channel, and it's doing really well. We just crossed 650 subscribers over there after like a month, which is good. And then Gamescast, we launched that channel this week. It has they have their own channel of like mostly focused on gameplay discussions, and Stoy joined that show, so like they kind of focus on retro
Yeah.
stuff also, and kind of have creative freedom on what they want to do there. If they edit it and put it up right, like I'll obviously edit the podcast, but like anything else they want to do over there, they can kind of do if they want. um and then the clips channel, clips from all the shows and social media kind of acts as that too. And I don't know, man, there's just been a lot going on. I'm pretty tired, but I'm also pretty excited about a lot of the things that have been kind of revamped. And I'm going to kind of use this coming weekend as like a restful weekend. um,
Yeah.
I'm pretty tired, but I'm happy all the shows have kind of gotten that refresh. And uh Tower Casuals and Xbox Casuals will stay on that channel, right? Obviously, and kind of cover Destiny and Marathon and Xbox
Mhm.
from a games perspective. And um, it's been fun. I think really adjusting things to getting back to the network idea, right? Like we went from Boss Rush Games to the Boss Rush Network, right? In terms of what we call ourselves, and really kind of looking at the network as like not just our community, but also like our content. Like, look at the network
Yeah.
of content we have. We have all these YouTube channels and podcasts now. We have the website, which is growing still, right? And the network of creators and developers that we've met over the years. Like we've really done a lot. And so like putting the emphasis back on the network term, which I know podcast network is a popular term now these days. But I like to think that we started that not even with Boss Rush, but with, with Nerds Gone Rogue, really.
Yeah.
Or DNA even to an extent. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, I don't know. I need more feedback from you. What are you feeling about everything?
I think w as we continue to expand, we could continue to create content. You know, we it sometimes stuff may feel like we're in a rut, but it's not. Everything that we all present is new and it's refreshing because like we can have new ideas, new conversations. We're reaching out to people when we go to these conventions and people see us in everything, or those different devs and stuff see us. It's great to reach out and like they remember us, or it's continues to be fun. Yes, it continues to be work, but like I said, work pays off, you know. And so I with the new logos, Corey did told me about saying it's a new season for this and that show. But I kind
I
of
hate I
but that
hate that. I hate when you
I
do that.
know, I know, I know, I know. But
Ah.
I but I always tell Corey, for me, and I'm such a anime kind of visual person when it comes to like new things like that. I kind of feel like that when it's something, whether it's a new format that we do or a new intro that we do. For this, it's not a new season or anything. We just got new intros. I always feel like it's a new season for us because we're doing something new. We're presenting something new. What we did in the past is changing. So I am that kind of way of thinking. Yes, Corey, you don't like it. I'm just talking. This is a personal thing for me.
Words
Okay,
mean things, Ed.
But I'll say I'm like, oh, it's a new season 4 problem, blah 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 blah, and then we'll just go on because it is something new. We have a new intro, we have new discussions. We sometimes bring in different podcast guests, or from different shows and everything, or if they're starting out, bringing on show for the first time and talking and hanging out with them. It's so cool to like have that because like like I said, sometimes things could feel like we're in a rut. Some stuff could feel like it's recycled, but I'm just like, there comes a time every year, maybe twice or three times, there's a refresh, there's a renewal. And when you kind of watch anime or some TVs, they have a new intro. Sometimes the animation is better, like quality wise, new storylines and stuff like that. So I kind of feel like when it comes to Boss Rush and there's something new, I kind of feel like it's a new season. Now, that's a personal thing for me. So seeing these new intros, I'm like, I love when there is something new. I definitely love with Corey when you share with me to be like, this is the idea that I'm going for, but I'm trying to figure something out. And I'll bounce off ideas. I'll say something, whether you agree with it or not, maybe whether it helps you be like, maybe I could, or maybe I'll do something. I'll try this. And you pass it along to me to get approval or to get more thoughts and stuff. Like it feels great having that, feeling that. So as we continue to go, with Boss Rush, um, in every aspect, entertainment, our writings, the video games, our art, our listicles, our how to's and stuff. I'm super excited to see what everybody is going to bring and continue to bring to Boss Rush. So with these intros, with all of where these are podcasts, gamercasts, our it spotlight interviews, what you guys do on Boss Rush podcast, what you do on Tarver Casual and Xbox Casual, what we do on Podblock. If we bring some of our old shows back, it's going to be continue to be exciting because there's something new that we're bringing. And maybe it's going to be, maybe we'll find something new with new developers and interviews and games and stuff that will be, you know, expressing with our listeners, viewers, and our readers from across the world. So I'm super excited for it. I love that. I get super excited about that. So that's how I'm feeling with that. Sorry, that sounds like it was too much, but I'm like, that's me in my excitement. That's how I feel.
No, I just my thing is all this stuff. I have ideas and I just want to like, but I also want to make sure that it's like a team decision that we're moving forward with certain
Mhm.
things, right? And it's like, yeah, I send things to you, and like I know at times I disagree with you one reason or another, but mostly it's just because I like busting, busting your balls a little bit, like haha. But no, I'm making the decision. But no, I really like want to make sure this is like a team decision before anything happens, and before anything um kind of takes place really, right? Like I just want to make sure everybody's on board with these like certain changes and stuff before we move
Mhm.
ahead, because I want once things move ahead, then it's like, well, they got to stick for a while, they got to um it's going to have to be like this for a while, because you don't want to change things all the time, which is
Oh
again
yeah.
like the logos went through a refresh, but they're not different because people recognize our logo. Want to like alienate people because you changed your logo, right? And it's like people recognize
Mhm.
Boss Rush's logo, and um
Yes.
yeah, I don't alienate people. I don't want people like, especially because like get new fans and like you tell them things and you send them something, or like they find it and you change your logo randomly, like they're gonna be like, oh, is this the right one? Did I find the right one? And it's like, when people find this show, right? Like we talk about, recently we've been pitching it as like, LaRon is on, it's me and LaRon on this show, and like we're gonna try to find guests and stuff, but like it's me and LaRon, and now people are and I'm not, this isn't like I'm this isn't meant to sound mean or anything. I'm just saying like they're gonna hear you and they're gonna be like, oh, did I download the wrong show? Is this the Nintendo show? Like what's going on here? And I just want to make sure like the consistency and the care that we put into everything, I just make sure it all works, very excited.
I need to reach out to
No, you don't.
uh AAAA games. I need to reach out to that team and
What games?
as a royalty free for all. Like I kind of want to get them a spotlight and stuff because I have articles on them from PAX, but I want to like get them on a spotlight and like introduce them and let them know about their game being out because I'm super excited for royalty free for all.
Mm.
Uh, yes. Um, but they're going to be at Evo this year, so I think I'm gonna kind of wait till like their marketing and stuff, their busyness kind of like die down and then bring them on and like kind of just like talk to them. Definitely, hopefully they're at PAX West and that whole situation get together. Dude, we still can't get media. That thing is still closed. That link is, I don't know what they're doing.
Strange, man.
Uh,
I don't know. Whatever.
I know they
It's
just announced that they got prices and stuff
yeah, I got
like
the
cheaper
know
prices.
that they're on sale. Yeah, I don't really want to pay to go. I already got to pay for everything else, but when
Yeah.
your badges come out, maybe I'm gonna try to get to West this year. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
like
I want to go.
so, but anyways, Ed, what are you playing? Are you playing anything fun, new, different? Something that's not on Puck?
uh, like I said, I've been started up Grand Theft Auto 5. So I'm gonna be working on that. Playing Pragmata on Series X. I'm in the third section of the game. Um, so I'm like kind of halfway through the game for it. For a Switch, I'm still at the end of Constance, so I was gonna try to get everything, but since it's just only one ending, I'm just gonna go and beat it. I don't need to get everything for that game, like, cause once I beat it, there's really no reason to go back and play it. So I'm just gonna do the ending for that. Um, I'm thinking of jumping into Tales of Grace's F a little bit later, this month. Uh, I mean, for June, yeah. I am working on Before I Go also with another Metroidvania game. I'm getting close to the end of that, so I think I'm going to go and finish that. I wish there was a Switch 2 version of that game. I think it would play and run better. Um, Instead of playing the Switch 1 version or Switch 2, but that's the only version they offer. So, but that's pretty much what I've been playing. I'm trying to think of course, with all the new stuff that's coming on, I'll be getting that, playing that. But I'm kind of thinking of what my backlog for a game's gonna be this year. To play. I think I'm gonna do 2 for Xbox and 2 for Switch 2, which will be the Switch 1 games, and, give those games 2 weeks, and whether I beat it or not, I played it as much as I can, that's all I focus on, and then move on to the next game, but that won't start until June or anything. That'll be June and July. So, but like for now, this is all the stuff that I'm playing right now. Oh, and Shinobi Age of Vengeance. I'm playing. Oh man, that game is so fun. That
That's
emu.
that's a new one, right?
Oh, yeah, it's so good. playing that game. I'm kind of halfway done with it, but I've been going back collecting stuff, and now I'm doing the hard challenges of trying to get the dark sword for it. So I'm super excited to do all of that and everything. It's just so much fun. It's so fluid with the action. And I don't even be thinking of the enemy bars and stuff. I just literally just be going on and just having fun with that. I also started up Elementus, this Zelda style role playing game
How is that?
with elements. It's okay for right now because I'm still in the intro. It's this intro is taking a long time to get into and stuff.
They pitched
So
it
I
as,
think
they pitched it as like 2D Zelda with like it's like are the last airbenders. Is like
yeah,
how they
I
pitched it.
have yeah, I haven't really started like f- going and opening up the world and exploring and stuff. I'm still like kind of in the intro with it because you right now you play as a I'm a kid and um I kind of just see something happen to my parents, but I don't know what actually happened and stuff. So now I just got my first Elementus, which I saved, and then I got back home and met the guardian that's watching over me, my parents' teacher and stuff, and he does some magic by lighting up uh throw some fire in the fire pit and lighting up the room and stuff. And then he see that you have an elementus, but it doesn't tell you what that elementus does. And um soon I'll be able to start my journey and go from there and stuff. So but it was like a whole 55 minutes of the intro, and the game hasn't like I haven't really got to do anything in the game and stuff. So I'm just waiting for just the game to open up so I could like go and explore and fight and stuff like that. Um and everything. And then I kind of want to I got Death's Gambit, but I haven't started that yet. But that's what I kind of want to start. I want to try that game first. Um but yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Nice. I haven't really been playing a lot this and trying to fun everything. So, this weekend was not great, but I played some Mario Kart with the kids, and I played some uh, Disney Dreamlight Valley because it's easy to pick up and put down, and it's essentially uh, I just and I've just been like really tired and uh, man, I've a lot of pain this week just from everything else going on too. So I kind of have not been playing a lot of games. I was gonna play Pragmata this week, uh,
Mhm.
but that was also assuming I was gonna get everything for boss rush stuff, and I did not. So whoops. Um, but yeah, it's been a long week. I'm glad we're recording stuff tonight, honestly, so I can kind of tomorrow and then have the weekend relax.
Mhm.
But yeah, no man, I just I've been super busy. It's insanely an insanely weird weekend. No lie to you.
Oh,
I
believe me.
I had different news to share, but here we are. Speaking of, uh, hold on, what is this? Oh, never mind. Speaking of news, Ed, could probably talk about some of the news. There's not really a whole lot. We're kind of in that calm before the storm a
Mhm.
little bit, but The let's see. Sorry, I'm pausing.
Well,
I want
oh,
to talk about the Xbox kind of situation where they are reevaluating exclusives. They did come out that Hellblade 2 on Play was a success.
mhm.
So I just, I'm oh my gosh, I have a really hard time trying to podcast tonight. So, all right, man, there's gonna be some cool edits in this. Uh, so let's talk about Xbox reevaluating and inclusives. This article comes from push uh, Xbox quote reevaluate exclusives. Hellblade 2 PS4 is considered a success, and are now working on which, from what I've heard, is 3. But talk about that in a little bit. But Microsoft has confirmed it's going to have another think of its stance on first Xbox games being ported to other platforms. New lead Sharma looks to improve the Xbox brand. However, for those titles already put on PS5, they're considered a success. Latest one is Senua's 2, which was ported to PS5 in an enhanced edition this year. Ninja Theory reported in its financial statements. There's a link to those financial statements article, but $5 million or 5 million, whatever, fake money. I'm just kidding. And the success Blade 2 on PlayStation 5, it's now turning its attention to, quote, a future project, meaning more Ninja Theory are on the way. The hard numbers weren't shared, however. But I think if you do the math, you can probably it sold. Much of the talk success Microsoft has experienced first party projects to PS5 has focused on Forza Horizon as the PlayStation version. More than 5 million is to its sale goal. It's also Horizon 6 on PS5, though isn't arriving day and date with the Xbox Series and PC versions, which out next week, Tuesday, right? I think this is tomorrow. As of
At the at the time of this recording, people who get it on the 15th, they get who bought the premium edition get to play it.
yeah.
If you're getting the standard version, you'll get to play it on the 19th for Forza Horizon 6.
So I think it's really interesting. I think if there is one game you want to put day and date, it would be Forza Horizon 6. But that's just me, I guess. I think, though, that the sales for Star have been very soft. And the sales for Gears Reloaded were also soft. So interesting to see certain do well and certain ones not do right. Like Sea of Thieves did really well when it launched, and I wonder how. And I think reading this article revolves around right. Like, as a history on PlayStation, uh, did not sell at all. Box. What I heard and it was available on Game Pass, right? Like people played it on Game Pass for a weekend. Stop, but that it sold well on PlayStation is good in my because I was really worried. Not really, but them making games in general about. Um, Xbox isn't going to close the state of the art motion capture studio. They are essentially European engine kind of progenitors, really, but really kind of pushing over there. Volition is their kind of American or North American kind of Unreal Engine expert. I wasn't worried but I was worried about them to continue development, or maybe make a game that they didn't want to make. Uh, Interesting to see which ones don't. And I don't, if you have an opinion on this or not. I mean, you're not a subscriber, so you buy your games anyway. And I'm just wondering what your perspective on these games, PlayStation. Uh, well,
Well, I think with these games coming to PlayStation and selling well, um, kind of it kind of showcases Microsoft, how they can still make money in case, they don't sell well on their own platform. We talked about there's a possibility a lot of their games going back to being exclusive to Xbox. Um, but then you get the tier stuff with Game Pass and with Call of Duty being taken out and stuff, it's going to get a lot of people just wondering, well, you know, if I'm going to support Microsoft in this way or Xbox in this way, if I'm not going to be buying their platform or investing in their ecosystem, and they're still bringing games out to my platform of preference to play, that's how they're going to get their money. And the PlayStation community has, shown that a lot of games that come to their platform sometimes will sell. If given a chance, same thing with Switch 2. With Indiana Jones coming out, that game's been getting really good reception, even with Digital Foundry. So that allow people to buy their games, and give good sales. South of Midnight, um, was one too. I don't know the sell numbers, but a lot of people started recommending if anyone who really want a venture game like this, get it on Switch 2 and everything. So I think I just feels like Microsoft it kind of should have a good idea of you know putting their games on other platform is working for them in a good manner. Now, when it gets to the point where they they don't want to put their platform games on other platforms, probably besides Steam and stuff, then we'll see how that's going to affect their business and everything.
mhm.
With this change, is supporting PlayStation and Nintendo with only Call of Duty going to be feasible. It will something like Diablo 4 or the next Diablo, um would that be a smart move just to keep it on Xbox and PC and not bring it to the other platforms? It's really going to show that, Microsoft, with this change of business, that if they do take all their games back and it is, you know, very exclusive to the Xbox, brand, it's going to do Horizon 6 Metacritic numbers. Because they're going to have to their first party will have to be hitting in the 80, I would say not even 85s. It'll have to hit 88, 89, and 90. It'll have to range at least up to 95, um, to make sure that you want to play the best games, playing her at Xbox and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, having the best is going to lead to more people being Game Pass subscribers, they're going to do everything to have that stuff be subscribed, you know. But that's all going to depend on um um Microsoft, or the Xbox, devs be able to put out those products, given that the time and the resource to put out those products. And then it's going to be up to, once again, I keep saying this, to the players to play those games or purchase those games. Hopefully purchase, um, if they're still not Game Pass subscribers and stuff. Because right now, Microsoft has a chance to be the be better at where they're at now. because like me and you, we were talking about Sony not doing well in Japan and like Nintendo taking over. You
Mhm.
know, here in America, Nintendo got it locked. You know, they got it locked in Japan. They may not have it like in Europe, but I'm like, if Sony is not doing good in Europe, there's a chance that Xbox and Microsoft can come and take over Europe. And that would be something to see.
All right. Technical difficulties aside,
Yes.
we were talking about Xbox exclusives. So my my thought on this is that Xbox is clearly in a position where they want to change. They want to focus on the brand and bringing console back to the forefront and kind of making Xbox the gaming brand again instead of Microsoft gaming, right? Like we are
Hmm.
Xbox. We talked about that a couple weeks ago on this show and quite a bit on Xbox casuals and all the other things. And if they're going to do it, they're going to do it now. They need to do it now, right? And they are being very aggressive. Asha Sharma and Matt Booty, big fans of the show, by the way. They are. I know they are. They listen. We're besties. Um, but in all seriousness, like I've been thinking about this a lot. I mean, even before you know all of this changeover happened, and first and foremost, I think they need to look at Activision Blizzard, right? And like Activision Blizzard needs to be multi-platform, full stop. No ifs, ands, or buts. Everything that they have needs to be multi-platform, right?
Hmm.
I think they could do some IP shifting. Um, like there are definitely certain brands under Activision that probably fit better under the Microsoft Game Studios label, or even potentially under like the Bethesda label or whatever. Like I think you need to do some IP shifting and kind of put IP where they make sense, right? Like I think something like Crash, Spyro, like those types of games fit better under the Xbox Game Studios branding, right? Like
Hmm.
they're mascot platformers. Activision Blizzard is known for these big epic adventures, Call of Duty, Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft, and then you have, you know, Crash and Spyro. Uh, you know, uh, you have a bunch of licensed Marvel stuff, which could potentially come back, and I think would be massive on either Game Pass or the
I,
Xbox brand, right? Like
would see the problem
Ultimate
is
Alliance and Spider
I.
Man, like. But I think at the end of the day, when you look at Xbox Game Studios games specifically, I think those need to stay exclusive. I think your kind of big three, I would say four, but I think Forza is one of those games that's too big to not be multi-platform, right? Um, I think your games as a service stay multi-platform. Your Sea of Thieves, Forza,
Mhm.
uh, you know, I, I was going to say Fallout
Well,
76, but that's
this
Bethesda. But I
the,
think
the clarify Forza though, because if we're gonna, there's two forces. Are we saying
are there
Horizon should stay multiplayer
are
while
there
Motorsport stays? Huh?
I said are there two?
Yeah, because
Because
why
they
would you
essentially laid off the entire Forza Motorsport team because Forza Motorsport failed miserably.
the
Um,
last one?
mhm. So
Well, because the reason I said that was because of Gran Turismo. I'm like, would you want to be having those two games compete on the same
I'm
platform in a
I'm looking
sense?
at Horizon is kind of the main Forza game now, and that's kind of what they're
Well,
going to do moving
pretty
forward.
much, yeah.
Um, so when I say Forza, I'm saying Forza Horizon. Forza Motorsport, if they ever bring that back, can stay exclusive, but Horizon needs to be multi-platform. You look at your big three franchises: Halo, Gears, Fable.
Hmm.
Those need to be exclusive, and those need to stay exclusive. I know Gears Reloaded came out on PlayStation. I know Campaign Evolved is already too far along to pull from PlayStation, right? But
Yeah.
I think Gears E-Day needs to be exclusive. I think Halo 7, whatever they end up calling it, needs to be exclusive to Xbox. I know they already. It's funny. I was pulling trailers for the new intros, and I
Yeah.
downloaded the last Fable trailer, and
Yeah.
it was from the PlayStation YouTube channel.
Oh no.
So I'm like, oh well, whoops. Um, so clearly that's not going to PlayStation, but like whatever the next Fable is needs to stay. Like, I think those games need to be exclusive. I think whatever the next Rare game, if it's single player, needs to be exclusive. Um, and like I was saying, your games as a service, your main games as a service that aren't directly tied to the Xbox brand, like Sea of Thieves or
Mhm.
uh, Grounded, even, or games like that. Those should be multi-platform because that's the lifeblood of the game is players, right? You need to keep those
Yeah.
players engaged and keep that population. So putting those multi-platform, sure, but if it's a big single player adventure from one of these Xbox Game Studios games, like the next the next game from Obsidian needs to be single player, and it needs to be exclusive to Xbox.
Avowed was Obsidian, I think.
Yeah, Avowed came to
It's most of
PlayStation though.
yeah.
It ended up
Yeah.
coming to PlayStation later, but
That's why you said okay. Because the only reason why you said their next single player, and I'm just
well,
like,
I didn't mean single player. I meant
hmm,
their next game needs to be exclusive.
exclusive.
Um, I didn't mean to say single player there. Like I said, sorry everybody, my brain is all over the place. The next game from Obsidian,
Mhm.
uh, if it's single player, needs to be exclusive. The next, whatever the next Ninja Theory game, if it's single player, needs to be exclusive. The next
Yeah, I think
Double
that one.
Fine game, uh, I'm trying to think of all, Compulsion's next game, which might be South of Midnight too, uh,
Uh,
considering
I,
it how well it sold
I
on
thought it was
PlayStation.
I thought it was that Clockwork something
No, that's In Exile.
in Exile. Okay,
Um, but
did
still, that
Compulsion?
needs to be exclusive to Xbox. You know,
Yeah, that's the one that I'm waiting for. Like after Forza, that's supposed to be the next one. I think. Because I know Kojima and them,
well,
that's far away. I
well,
know,
we'll know at the summer
some Game
showcase, right?
Fest.
Like
Yeah.
that's what 2-3 weeks away at this point, 4 weeks. So
Um, at the time of this recording, it would be like 2 weeks. No, 3 weeks. I think.
yeah, I just think you need to, especially if like Game Pass is still going to kind of be your. I know it's not going to be their main thing anymore, really, but if you're
Mhm.
still going to want to push Game Pass, like you need to have exclusives on that thing, and you need to have exclusives on your platform. And in my opinion, these Halo remakes are a good start, but whatever Halo 7 is, right, that's got to be your big platform pusher, right? That's got to be your big exclusive.
But
Um,
then, but then, does it? And I know we talked about this on Special Pass. Does it do the Nintendo thing and drop something every month? Because I'm like,
but
you got more.
that's they have more studios than anybody. They should be able to do that, right? Like,
Right, and they haven't been doing that for the last,
well,
what, 7 years?
they've been doing it for the last like 2 years, but the problem is like they made this bold strategy move and like it didn't work for them, and now people don't want to buy an Xbox, and therefore they don't have the Game Pass subscribers. So
It's
like
I don't
I
think
mean,
it's
I just think they have a ton of games coming out, right? Whether it's first party or second party capacity, like
mhm.
I mean, last year they put out like 19 games last year. That's a lot of games, and they've put out a ton of games this year already. So
But, we were expecting a lot of the games to be out there least supposed to be at least 12 games that we know of that was dropping February, March, April, well, January, I should say January. Like each month, there should have been some hype about it. Because, like with Nintendo, even if they're re-releasing a old game in HD or whatever, or a support or whatever, there was something every month that we were just like, okay, this is the highlight for, this is the highlight, this is the highlight. We know what's coming. And it kind of felt like when Microsoft was on that same role, because like even after I think South of Midnight came out before Avowed, I think, or whatever was going on in that spring section that Microsoft was killing it.
Mhm.
It straight dropped dead, and we didn't get nothing. I think until Ninja Gaiden 4. I believe I might be off on a lot of stuff. I probably am, but
So
it
I'm
just felt
looking
like
at
a
Microsoft published games right now in terms
mm,
of Xbox Game
what's
Studios, Activision Blizzard, and Bethesda last year, right? So they I mean they had something
oh
almost every month, right? Like about every 6 weeks, which is about what Matt Booty said that he wanted, something every 6 weeks first
yeah,
party wise, right? And so I mean just going off that list
keepers.
alone, that was about every 6 weeks, right? If you include Indiana Jones in December, was it November or December that in 2024? Gears
It
Reloaded was August, so you had that.
yeah. Keeper was October 17th, and Outer Worlds 2 was October 29th. Ninja Gaiden was October 21st.
Yeah. So I
Uh,
mean, you had like
last year.
that 4 week stretch in September where it was those
Yeah.
games, and then Call of Duty kind of put that a bow on it, right? Like,
Hmm.
I mean, Xbox had a ton of games last year. So I mean, my point after all that silence and guesswork, my point is like I think you look at a lot of these games and you're like, okay, what makes sense as first? Like, what makes sense to keep exclusive? What makes sense to go multi-platform? Uh, I think Bethesda games need to go multi-platform. I think Activision Blizzard games need to go multi-platform.
Well,
Uh,
so in other words, because the
I
thing
think
about this,
I think you look at Xbox Game Studios as itself, right? Like
yeah,
World's End, Halo Studios, The Coalition, Playground, Ninja Theory, Obsidian, and Exile. Uh, Double Fine, those studios that kind of sit under Xbox Game Studios. Those games need to be exclusive unless it's a game as a service.
because like ZeniMax and Activision were already third party. So with
Right.
having
But
been
when Microsoft bought them, the
the
thought
plan
was,
was to keep them under Xbox, keep them first party
yeah, right.
exclusive
I mean,
and not
Starfield
share
was
them.
exclusive, right? I mean, that was the big
Hmm.
deal that Starfield was exclusive until, last month, I think. So Xbox has a lot to think about, right? I mean, they have the franchises, they have like the thing that bothers me, right, is like they have the portfolio to create a great exclusive machine, right?
Yeah,
They totally do. I mean, even in the vein of like kid friendly stuff, right? Banjo, Crash, Spyro, um, you have those kid friendly things. You could make a kart racer, right? Like, I mean,
yeah,
Crash Team Racing exists, right? Like, why couldn't you put Spyro and Banjo in there, right? Like, um, you have your fighting franchise with Killer Instinct. You have I mean, they are the home of shooters, right? I mean, Halo,
right.
Gears, Doom, Wolfenstein. I'm not saying that Doom and Wolfenstein need to be exclusive, but you are the home of shooters. You are the home of Western RPGs. Uh, like, emphasize that, right? Like, you have those games that will draw the hardcore in. You have, you have your tactics games with Gears
Right.
Tactics and Halo Wars and um you know oh my gosh, what's that, Age of Empires, right? Like, you have those.
Yeah.
You have your quirky weird art games from Compulsion and Double Fine, right? Like, you have this is what we say about Sega, right? Is like Sega could totally make a console now and have a serviceable first party lineup. It's
Right.
it's the fact that they have gone so far out of their way, and not obviously not current leadership, but like the brand in general has gone so far out of their way to make the box so undesirable that they've been forced to make these changes. And that's going to be a hard ship to turn around. I think they can do it. I really do think they can do it, right? Nintendo
Yeah.
did it. I mean, obviously it's a different era, right? But like Nintendo did it with from the Wii U to the Switch. They did it from the GameCube to the Wii. Like Nintendo's done it twice. There's no reason to think that Xbox can't do it. You know?
But the thing about it is like Nintendo had to fight for that. Microsoft, for some reason, they they don't have to fight that much. And it sounds weird for me saying that, but it's just like they're trying to appeal to the audience with
Mhm.
these games. Now it's up to the audience to go out and get it. Because the thing about it is, Microsoft has a strong library. It's really been strong. Why are adult gamers, these mature gamers, these hardcore gamers, why are they not going out and supporting and buying these games? Because not only do you have the console community, you got the PC community. So you got two communities that
Mhm.
you are trying to get a hold of. Now, yes, during the PlayStation 4 era, it was a challenge. It literally was a challenge. Now you got the PlayStation 5 era that's looking that's looking confusing right now. So if you're going to put out these hardcore games and it's a great design, it got these great reviews, why are the communities not going to get it? Oh, because the thing about it is that like I said, y'all folk, some people still think Nintendo is for kids. Well, these folks are not. Like, I use Doom. I continue to use Doom because that's a immature game. That's from 1 million sales. Cyberpunk did great sales. Like, all of these things that are Nintendo and non-Nintendo. If they're doing 1 million, that's not for kids. That's adults buying it, and adults are covering it and giving their opinions about it. There's no 7 or 12-year-old on the level of us, like we're buying games and talking about it and talking about themes and emotions. Ain't no, they too busy doing Fortnite and all of that other stuff. Because if there's a bunch of 12 or 13 years old, don't matter the gender, that help a game get to 1 million sales, that's mature on a Nintendo console, Imma need y'all to show me that.
Viva Pinata. Like, where's your Animal Crossing Viva Pinata game? That, I mean, that would be such an easy live service thing for them. That'd be so easy. I mean, not to develop and keep going, but like, you know, that's like, it feels like that's a layup, right?
Mhm.
Even if you don't have one of your internal studios working on it, like you could what's Sumo Digital doing, right? I mean, or Iron Galaxy, right? They are struggling. They need work.
It's the yeah, that deals with the yeah, the cozy community. Will they will they go
Do
towards
you know
that?
how many
I
people
mean
I've heard bring up on podcasts over the last decade? Like, where's Viva Pinata? You know, I think there's a
mhm,
hunger for Viva Pinata. I really do. And even if not, like if you pitch it and like say it's an Animal Crossing style game, then people are going to go nuts. People love these games,
oh,
you
yeah.
know? And I mean, that's a game you could put on Switch or you know, you can make that
But I think we're try
multi-platform, right? Like
and that's the thing about it, I'm just like, how like, with all of these titles, how do we avoid doing it multi-platform
I mean, you
so
don't
that
have
they could
to.
be on the level?
You don't have to. You can this game could be a game you put on Game Pass and you have microtransactions within the game,
Mhm.
right? Like Disney Dreamlight Valley does, right? I mean, that game's $40 and the expansions are $40, but
Yeah.
the base game's on Game Pass. And they have a ton of microtransactions. Every week the store refreshes with new stuff to buy. And it's not cheap. You know, I mean, everything in that store is like $4, $5, $6, $10, right? I mean, That stuff adds up. You know, you want the Haunted Mansion as your house? You can buy it. It's $15. You gonna buy that? Yeah,
Some
you
people
are.
with some
I
Disney
did.
people, yeah.
I did.
Like you're a Disney person, so that
Um, I think, and like you could even start incorporating other things into Viva Pinata. Like I feel like that's the franchise that like, oh, there's a Master Chief Pinata that you can like, or like a banjo pinata or a conquer pinata, right? Like you could do
kind of
different.
do kind of do what Nintendo does with Tetris 99. Like there's something that's coming from them for first party.
Yeah,
They
and
could
you could use it
sponsor
as
it
like
and use.
you could use it as a free marketing device where like, oh, hey,
Yeah,
there's a new Gears game coming out. Why don't you make a little like a Jack pinata that you can fly
here's
around and
here's
follow
a
you
here's
around.
a Marcus or a Dom,
Yeah,
like
or like
kind of cartoony, funny kind of
or
version of
even like, oh, your pinata, here's a Marcus Phoenix do-rag that your pinata could
it.
wear.
Yeah.
Or like, here's some cog armor, like
Hmm.
you could really do something. Or here's some Halo armor, or here's a Doom guy, you know.
Make it childish and funny that will
Yeah,
attract the younger crowd eyes and the cozy community eyes. Like,
I mean, the
yeah,
game is
this is an
already
M-rated
super
game.
colorful, right? I mean, like, you
Yeah,
even go back to the 360 version of that game and it's like super colorful, it's funny, it's got like,
Viva
and you
Pinata, not Gears,
no.
just to make sure.
Yeah, no, yeah, Viva Pinata. Like,
Viva Pinata.
you can there's innuendo in there for adults who get jokes like that, right?
Hmm.
It's like there's a lot of funny things in there. And
And the thing the thing about it is Microsoft got the power. Series X could handle this. They're whatever Project Helix is, they can make the game look beautiful with the texture.
Mhm.
If you thought that Nintendo was amazing with Yoshi's Woody World and Crafted World and Epic Mickey, not Epic Mickey, Kirby's Epic Yarn, how they use that different style of texture to make
Mhm.
stuff look real. Dude, seeing that stuff on Series X would be
Yeah,
insane. That's how you push the power of the system in Project Helix.
I mean, the 360 game still looks really good on Series X, right? Because
Hmm.
it has the upgrade stuff. But like, I don't know. I'm just really confused at why they haven't tried to do that. I mean, they could even bring back dumb stuff like Pitfall. I mean, Pitfall could be their Uncharted, right? You've been wanting something to rival Uncharted and The Last of Us for so long. You own Pitfall. That's literally the game that Uncharted ripped off.
Yeah,
Like, uh, I mean, you don't have to call it Pitfall. You don't have to call him Harry, but you know what I mean. Like, you could do something, right? Like, I think Pitfall could be a cool franchise if you did it right. It could
I
totally be
mean,
an Uncharted style franchise.
they have that PS1 game. Ugh.
Well, let's not talk about that.
Just,
Um,
hey, I'm just saying. I just give it a mention. That's all.
I know.
If you,
It's just I feel like you look at the franchises they own, Hellblade, and uh, it's just there's so much potential here. And I know games take a lot of work and they take a lot of time and effort and IP. Like you have to have IP management and stuff. But like,
hmm
I mean, there's IP management and like storing franchises away, and then there's just like neglect. You know, um, you had Toys for Bob, right? And like they ended up buying
right.
themselves back and going independent. And it's like, man, like you couldn't have just like kept them to make Banjo and Crash games and Spyro. Like
I wonder.
staff that studio up to like, 200 people and have them work on two projects at a time, and they don't have to be big projects, right? Cuz you're going to sell a $40 single player platformer.
Right.
Um, I mean, I'm even thinking of like, speaking of Banjo and Spyro and stuff, like you could even go to like, oh, we don't have a studio that fits this, but we could go to, I don't know, Playtonic could totally make a banjo game. It's literally what ukulele is, right? Is a banjo game.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know, or have them make a Conquer game or something. I don't know, man. I know that the words in that "We Are Xbox" thing is like we need to protect our art and we need to, makers over managers. Those words, like it's time to prove. It's time to prove that now, right? Like, what franchises are you going to pull out of the vault and say, we need this type of game? I don't care how much it sells, and we're not shutting the studio down if it doesn't sell 10 million copies, right? Like, you got to pull that card out at some point, right?
But
You
I
have
think
to.
even if they pull that card out, how many like I know I'm sorry if I'm sounding repeating myself. I'm like gamers have to go and play it. They gotta support it.
But
I know you
I think
just
a move like this, at least for like the hardcore gamers, I
mhm.
think a move like this will garner a lot of goodwill from the hardcore fan base, right? And I think
Yeah, yeah.
that's what Xbox needs right now. They don't need more players; they need the hardcore to buy in. Because once the hardcore buy in, the casual gamers will follow, right? The people who want to play a Mario style game and have an Xbox with Game Pass will, stumble over the next whatever, right? The partner who likes playing Animal Crossing while the other one is playing Call of Duty on the TV, right? Like,
Mhm.
they'll stumble across a Viva Pinata and be like, "Oh, this seems neat." And you know what I mean? Like, you need the hardcore people to buy in, and then
But if
the people will follow.
if the hardcore is gonna buy in, they gonna have to change their taste of gaming and really
See,
uh,
I
uh,
don't think so. I
but see,
think you look at
I think so.
see, I think you're confusing the hardcore for the loudmouth Xbox influencers on Twitter
Mhm.
who
No,
flop sides quite a bit.
no, because I think and I'm sorry, I'm pulling out my Nintendo card. I think people who are hardcore on Nintendo are able to diverse their library and play different games. They could play casual, cozy games. They could play difficult, challenging games. Like they are able to play those, accept what those games give, deliver stuff that is so memorable that we're going to be talking for years and stuff, and showcase it to others on why this IP or this franchise or this series matters so much. With Microsoft, if they're going to do that same thing and they're going to use these IPs to do that, and they want the hardcore to buy in, the hardcore has to the heart you cannot say Xbox is a Call of Duty machine anymore. If we're going to say that the hardcore going to have to buy in, we cannot say only hardcore people buy Madden every year. We can't use that 2 to 3 games for something for Xbox. We can't use that excuse no more if we're going to talk about hardcore buying in. If you're going to buy into Microsoft, you got to diverge your personal library, and you have to show other people that you have a diverse library and respect it and get other people to get in. You want the casual and cozy community to get in, you have to start playing Viva Pinata and show why you enjoy that game. Because if you don't, then you're just recycling the thing that is the problem that Xbox is having. Because I'm just like, okay, why is this game that's mature rated and getting so much love, but y'all ignoring this beautiful game and hating on it?
Yeah.
And you guys are the ones that's spending 600 plus some dollars on this console. Like, so if the hardcore going to have to buy in, they got to diversify. Because us as Nintendo, y'all can make fun of us. But if I'm seeing on, once again, good sales right here. Pokemon Pokepedia is still selling. Y'all clown Hyrule Warrior on Wii U. Now look at it. The Warrior games got big because of Hyrule Warriors. It's selling like with everything.
I don't know about that, but
But Corey, who was telling the Warriors games has been out since the PS2 days, and that
and they
series
sell a
got
ton.
ignored.
What did it did not?
But I'm just like, how? But
I
everybody
think I
laughed at
think
how. Oh,
I mean I think the Warriors games are popular. I think tying it to an IP draws eyes from people who don't care about those.
mhm.
Um, so that's you know I don't know. I kind of disagree with you, but that's you know that's
I'm
normal. I
just
feel like.
no, because no, I think I'm just feeling about. It's just that that's I mean, maybe it's the term hardcore. And when people say hardcore players play stuff on Xbox, they use the Meta and Call of Duty excuse only. They
Well,
don't,
that's
you know.
that's not the hard that's not the hardcore. So hardcore, I should say, I think the term we need to start using is the core gamer, not the hardcore gamer, because you could
Okay,
be a I mean, you can be a hardcore gamer and play one game your entire life, but be really hardcore about it, right? But
right.
I think you look at the core gamer, right? I think you look at that and look at Xbox's lineup, and I think the core gamers, the core Xbox fans want to love the platform. But
Hmm.
over the course of the last 2 or 3 years, I think the core Xbox fan has been treated like the second class citizen essentially, and, um, they have kind of gotten the raw end of the deal. They have the more expensive Game Pass. They have you know, uh, the PlayStation 5 Pro version of the game is more, it is better looking. It has more features and stuff like that than the Xbox
Hmm.
versions. Like, they've just been treated like that, and that's not. I don't think as a platform holder that that's okay. I'm not saying you shouldn't make the best game you could possibly make, but like this is where the exclusive thing comes back in. Is like you should have exclusives, and this is how they should market these exclusives. And so like yeah, Halo's going to be the top seller. Gears, depending on who you talk to, like Gears is going to
Hmm.
sell, Fable will sell, Forza will sell, but you need to get the people to buy the platform to buy those games for them to notice these secondary games. And I know I'm talking in circles now, and we're gonna wrap in a minute, but like
Yeah.
I think you look at the platform and the IP they own, and I think and they also have the advantage of being Microsoft, and I know they're trying to bring back the Xbox branding, right, and kind of be like this small kind of outlier from the Microsoft brand, but like you're still Microsoft and you still have Microsoft money. You can still pull some resources, hopefully, right, to fund these smaller projects that you're not going to make billions of dollars on, but you need to have those, right? It's what Matt Booty said about uh Hi-Fi Rush right after they shut the studio down. But, like and it's what Sean Layden even said about Vib Ribbon back in the day, right? Like these games aren't going to sell a million copies, but they mean something to the platform and they mean something to the core gamer. And you need your core gamers the most because they're the ones that are going to spend the most money on your platform. They're the ones that are going to spread the word about your platform, right? And
Yeah, that's
you need
the
those.
way of marketing.
I mean, look at the way you talk about like The Last Guardian, right? That game didn't
Hmm.
sell 5 million copies, but the people who love that game really loved that game, you know? And I'm sure the, 300,000, 500,000 people that bought the game, when they spread the word about the game and how good it is, I'm sure they sold another 100,000 copies just by spreading, and that's not nothing, you know?
It's Shadow of the Colossus shouldn't be at the height of Team Eco. You know, of recognition of that developer. Um, but because like Blue Point did a great job with the remake, anytime the name of Team Eagle come out or certain games that's connected, that looks like Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus was a big impact for a lot of players.
Mhm.
And so like you said, I guess what I'm saying is that when there is a game that is very impactful, regardless of sale numbers, it's going to do something. It's going to bring eyes to that console. It's going to be like, man, I remember everybody was playing this game. Maybe I should go and pick it up or download it or pay, or if it's on Game Pass and I got it, I should download it. Because what ends up happening is that once certain eyes start getting on it, and there's a certain interest that start popping up on social media, there's going to be a lane going to get it. That happened with Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright was nothing until that game came $20. But now look at the series now. It got super popular when it came to Game Boy to the DS. And people
Mhm.
started playing and talking about it. It was a game that folks full on ignored. But look at how popular that game became.
Mhm.
And I think Microsoft, they have tons of games that I support, that I love to play on their platform and stuff. Yeah, it may not do numbers or anything, but I'm like, once people start talking about them and saying how good it is, it's gonna catch eyes. That's why I'm just like, even with a vow, I'm like, this is like literally almost a perfect 10. Hellblade, Hellblade 2, that is a perfect 10. But and regardless of it did numbers or not, this is a game that fits perfectly on the Xbox console or PC. It fits right there because Ninja Theory got a chance uh, to create something that felt fresh, that made you think, that outside of the game's graphics, and how gorgeous it's look, you were in you were like in you were just engaged with that game to the very end.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Well, Ed, I think we've said all we needed to say about 3 different times on this topic. We're gonna wrap it there. Mostly because I mean I have a lot more to say about it, but like I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm like exhausted from this week, and I still have a huge day at work tomorrow, so we're gonna reconvene for Pow Block, which you can hear later this week.
Yes.
On YouTube and podcast services. Ed, thanks for hanging out tonight.
Thank you for having me. And just to let everybody know, I think me and you, Corey, I think we're, like I said, we're rooting for Xbox to
I
be
want
successful
Xbox
because,
you know how much money I have invested in my Xbox? I want them to succeed. I want them to keep making games and making exclusives. Like,
yes.
I mean, like, again, like, I think on paper, I don't really care about exclusivity at all, right? Like, I
Mhm.
really don't in terms of being a player. But I think in terms of business strategy and platform management and IP management, like, exclusives matter and the quality of those exclusives matter. And I think Nintendo and Sony both have proven that exclusives matter.
Yeah,
Nintendo
yeah.
more than most, right? I mean, they have a new exclusive come out like every 4 to 6 weeks. It feels like. I mean, there's a
Weeks.
stretch. There's a stretch right now where they're going to have 6 exclusives in 3 months, right? Like crazy,
Insane.
and that doesn't even include Fire Emblem. So, Sony has been making second party deals because they don't have first party exclusives a lot, a
Ready
lot right now,
ready
right? I
to
mean,
go.
they're trying to put out 2 a year, which is like nothing, but also like game development takes time and whatever. But Xbox again, Xbox has the IP, they have the franchises that make a compelling box.
Mhm. Yeah.
Getting, your ducks in a row, so to speak. Um I think fixing Halo would do a lot. on its own. I think if Fable comes out and it's great, a sequel would do a lot, right? Like I think those two, like having that and in Gears E Day returning, I think Gears E Day. Let me back up. I feel like Gears E Day returning to Marcus and Dom is, and you can quote me on this. I think that is the first step of, if this game is good, Xbox is going to make a big comeback.
Oh yeah.
I think if that game is good and they can, and Halo Studios can get their, get their stuff in order, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot of potential right now. And I'm telling you, man, I said this on the Iron Lords podcast when I was on there. If Xbox can turn this thing around and Asha Sharma is making these moves and they start working and they revisit exclusives, like, you better believe they're going to start fitting her crown after Project Helix comes out, and like,
Oh yeah.
she's going to be an icon in the Xbox lore
It's
forever.
they're that the success they if they receive a lot of success now, it's going to make the future of Xbox bring the eyes back to them.
Mhm.
The eyes that were stolen from them from Sony or Nintendo or whoever they feel like that their eyes were stolen from, if they comes back to Xbox, they have a chance to lead again.
Mhm. Yeah, and like, to turn it around, they don't need to sell 100 million boxes the way that PlayStation and Nintendo have, right? It would help,
Mhm.
but just based on like their popularity in different regions and everything, like, if they could even sell like 50 million or 60 million of their next box in North America and Europe, right? Like, that's turning it around, in my opinion. That's, plus like having their Xbox on PC platform, right? Like,
Yeah.
that, I mean, I know a lot of PC people are going to migrate that way, which is fine. Like, you don't really need the Xbox if they're going to keep this PC strategy going, but like, again, I think a lot of people in the gaming space like to hate on console players specifically. And there are a lot of people out there, like normal average gamers, that just want to plug and play a console on a
Mhm.
TV that they spent a lot of money on at Best Buy or got on sale for Black Friday or whatever. And they don't want to have to go through all the hassle of a PC setup. They want to plug it in, they want to play it, and they want to just relax. And they don't
Yep.
want to sit at a desk and hunch over and play games on a 27-inch monitor, right? Like, they want to go play a game on a TV in a way that makes them feel comfortable. And I think a lot of people are just underestimating how many people are still like that. And if you can get those people to buy in for Xbox, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's a big deal. So,
And even just to add, and then we'll head out, Corey. Now adding like Steam Deck verifications and all the handheld stuff, that
mhm,
adds more.
mhm.
And as
Yeah,
and I'm not.
I don't know if you
Oh,
saw what Ken Levine said today, which
oh,
was
about
something
the
I about how essentially,
Nintendo
like,
like stylized the stuff and the realism
mhm,
graphics and stuff and
mhm.
everything.
Yeah, the
Um,
fact of diminishing returns on realism, and like how, you know there, it seems like developers are going to start shifting the other way because just ultra realism is too expensive, essentially.
well, it's not even that that's expansion pass. Let's do that for expansion pass because I I have opinions about that, and I'm kind of just like, oh, now you want to bring this up?
I mean, yeah, we'll talk about it later because I have a lot to say too, and I know we're going to be combative on that, and that's going to take another 3 hours to dissect.
Yeah,
Um,
everybody check out expansion pass. I think that let's do that for expansion pass, but for another day.
yeah, we'll
Because
get
I
there.
think I think that's a good topic and discussion to have.
Mhm. So, everybody out there, Thank you so much for watching or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. You can check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. You can check out our website, bossrush.net, for more great content. Check out our other shows, including Nintendo Pal Block and Xbox Casuals and all these other things that we do here. Ed, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Laron, hope your work thing went okay. Everybody send him your love in his DMs at Exodus 803. Send him pics. Send him your feet and other things. I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
If you want to become a supporter of Boss Rush, you can head on over to patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. You can choose a tier that's right for you for as little as $1 a month, and you can even follow us for free. Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Francisco Santillan, Celeste Roberts of Read Only Magazine, Christian S. of Franchise Festival, Todd Aksha of Fandom Foundry, Making Fun of MacGyver, Chat of the Wild, a Legend of Zelda podcast, and Sana Dirrig. Thanks for your continued support of Boss Rush Media and the Boss Rush Network.